Hey everyone, it's Sarah from Sassy Reads, and I am doing another book haul. This book haul is an accumulation of all the books that I've acquired since I pre-filmed like my summer book haul back in July. And yeah, excluding anything that I got from Book Outlet. So yeah, let's start with like all the Stephen King books that I got. And this isn't Stephen King, but it's like horror, and it's super cute. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm like saving it for a nice cup of hot chocolate. It says Pour Me a Cup, and I got it at Books A Million for like $6. So I love it. It's funny. It's super cute. Yeah, super excited about that one. Not really a book, but it's bookish, and I wanted to show it. So let's talk about all the Stephen King books I got. When I bought that cup, I finally purchased a copy of The Shining in small mass market. This one matches my copy of The Stand, which is why I wanted to purchase it, because I just like it, and I really like how it has like red rum right above the font and right under the hotel room. Super excited about reading this one. Hopefully I love it. I started this one a while back, but I only got to like page 20, and that was like 5 or 6 years ago, maybe even more than that. But again, super excited for it. Next up, I have The Green Mile, and I love this cover. I just love the yellow with the green. It looks so cool. This one is a famous movie with Tom Hanks. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I love the movie, but I've never read it, and so now I can get to it. And next up, I have 2 books that are connected to one another. I have The Regulators, written by Richard Bachman, which is Stephen King's pseudonym, and Desperation, which is written by Stephen King. These 2 books were released on the same day, and they are kind of like parallel universes of each other, and plus these covers are just so cool, and like they just look really nice together on my shelf. So I'm super excited about checking these out. I think I'm gonna read The Regulators first, but I don't know. Tell me which order you think I should read them in. Should I read The Regulators or Desperation first? Because I don't really know which one I should read first. I've heard it doesn't matter, but I'd like to hear some people's opinions on what was better for them. Next up, I have Pet Sematary, and I am super duper excited about this one because I love the movie. I've seen it like a dozen times, and this cover just looks super creepy, and I'm totally excited about reading it. Next up, I have a book that I have read by him. I read this one a long time ago, back when I was in 6th grade. It's 4 Past Midnight. This is a collection of 4 novellas. Has the Langoliers, Secret Window, Secret Garden, which is a movie with Johnny Depp called Secret Window. Super good movie. There's also The Library Policeman and The Red Dog, or The Sun Dog. I honestly don't remember what the last story is. The Sun Dog. And so yeah, my edition's kind of like beat up and stuff, but I don't care. I'm just super excited to reread this one, and I also really just love the cover. And I read like the huge first edition hardcover, so like this is more accessible for me. I don't really like to read giant hardcovers. Next up, we're going to go on to the classics section of my haul, and a lot of these, I'm sorry if I shook the camera, a lot of these I had to buy for class, but we'll first tackle the Barnes & Noble paperback classics that I'm obsessed with. Like, if you haven't seen the Barnes & Noble paperback classics or bought them, you should, because if you like classics, they're super cheap and they're also very accessible. This is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. It matches my wall. And I am almost done with it. I'm on page 405. I'm really enjoying this. I'm listening to the audiobook and reading it kind of at the same time simultaneously. Super interesting story. This is my first Charles Dickens, and I love that cover. I also have The Metamorphosis and Other Stories by Franz Kafka. I've read The Metamorphosis before. I actually have a copy somewhere on my bookshelf, but I really wanted a Barnes & Noble edition because I want to reread it, but I want to annotate it with new thoughts. And my edition got a little wet, so a lot of it's smeared. I don't know how that happened. And plus, it has other stories by him. It has Metamorphosis, The Judgment, The Stoker, A Fragment, In the Penal Colony, A Country Doctor, An Old Leaf, A Hunger Artist, Josephine the Singer, or The Mouse People, Before the Law, and that's it. And so I think it comes with a pretty good amount of stories, and I really like Kafka. Next up, I have The Voyage Out by Virginia Woolf. And I really want to read some Virginia Woolf. I've heard that she's an amazing author, and she's like really acclaimed for her just literary fiction and kind of being like a groundbreaking writer when it comes to fiction, especially from the perspective of women, and she really broke like a lot of barriers. So super excited about checking this one out, and I just love this color blue. Next up, I have The Phantom of the Opera by Gaston Leroux, and I love this color. Like, it's just that purpley color, and I have never read this. I've seen bits and pieces of like the plays and the movies, but besides that, like I'm not super familiar with the story itself, so it'll be fun to, you know, pick this one up. Next up, I have Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. This one is super short, super tiny. This one follows Siddhartha Gautama, who is the creator of Buddhism. I am not Buddhist. I am actually not a denominational Christian, but I'm super open to just learning about other people's experiences and their own spiritual journeys. And so I think it's super important to read a classic that has such importance in another philosophical, religion, spiritual-based system. So that's the first part of my book haul. So these are the Barnes & Noble's classics together. I just love how they look on the shelf when they're all with each other. Highly recommend purchasing some if you are a fan of classics. I also have all of these Stephen King novels. They also all look super nice together on the shelf. So I have some more classics to talk about, but I'm going to save that for my next video because I don't want to start talking about them and then my camera cut off. So this will probably be like a couple of different separate book hauls, which is fine. It's easier for me to just separate them. But let me know which Stephen King books you've read down below in the comments, as well as let me know which one I should read first between The Regulators and Desperation. I don't know where to start. And let me know if you love Barnes & Noble paperback classics. I love them so much. And I will see you down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Happy reading.